Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. I'm Clarissa Kenty, your Kingdom Concierge. Happy Monday, everybody. It's a beautiful day now. Today was gorgeous. It was beautiful outside. I hope you had an opportunity to enjoy it because I certainly did. And I had a really great weekend on the TED stage. Oh, my goodness. When I tell you, the work that had to go into preparing for TED Talk events is major. It's testing, it stretches you, it's trying. And then you have all these oppositions and challenges and things that come up leading up to it, just life. And it gives you those times where you just really say, like, maybe I should just not do this and do it until next year. But I was able to kind of press through and get on that stage and really got some really good feedback. So I'm really grateful for Lisa Greg Taylor for the opportunity to be the visionary behind TEDx Alabaster. And so what a great opportunity. I had 3 amazing coaches who coached me to that space. And so we had people like Josiah Kenty, we had Latricia Fifi Redmond, and we had Ashley Sutton. And so these 3 people trained me, they coached me, they got me ready for the talk, and it was tough. Now it was tough, and they were tough on me, but it was such a blessing to be able to get on that stage and to tell the story. And so now that the talk is out, I can share a little bit more about what my talk was about. So the name of that talk was Where Tears Fall. And so the talk was really geared towards people who have suffered some type of loss in some manner. I centered it around the loss of my parents that are no longer here. And how did I overcome those grief? And what does it look like when you cry? Well, actually, where do these tears fall? And at the end of that speech, I tell you where they really fall. And, it kind of starts off, well, I thought tears fell from your eyes onto your cheeks and, maybe onto the floor, hospital bed, blah, blah, blah. But then at the very end, it really gives you an impartation that I believe is a word from God to tell you exactly where your tears fall and what does it do to help cleanse who you are. It also talks about people who aren't criers. I'm not what you call a crier. And so I was talking to those people in my talk on Saturday. And so I believe we talked to so many people on that day about losing something, a job, a friendship, a career, your life that you thought you had, all of these things. We talked to that. So hopefully once it comes out, and I pray to God it makes it to the TED stage, I will share that link. So if you have suffered something or lost in some type of way, in any capacity, and you're still trying to get over that loss, you want to hear this talk. I believe it'll be a blessing to you. I believe God was speaking through it, and it'll definitely change your life. So I'm very grateful for the TED Talk, and I'm grateful for all of you guys who came out. I had to deal with an emergency, a family emergency this weekend, so I had to leave right after I did the speech. But I did see you guys, and thank you so much for coming and surprising me. I was so excited just to see people that I haven't seen in a while, but they were like, hey, she's going to be on the TED Talk. I'm coming to support. And you did that. And I mean, you did that early because those tickets sold out early. It was a sold out event and it was great. And big kudos to all of those who were TED Talk participants as well. Met people from Ohio, Cincinnati, Georgia, Tennessee. People came from different places to get on the TED Talk stage. And I made some really good friends that I'll have for a lifetime. So congratulations to all of you guys. It was great. Lisa, thank you again for the opportunity. It was an honor to be on the stage this weekend. And now I want to give a big shout out to our guest on last week, Demetrius English. Demetrius really had an amazing testimony. If you missed her testimony, go back and listen to it. Demetrius was set to be in prison for 20 some odd years. She was able to get out within 12 to 15, good behavior. And she talks about her testimony. She was in prison for attempted murder. And she was able to share about that, share about what God did for her while she was in prison. She talked about the forgiveness from the victims that were on the other end of that. They forgave her for what she did. And it was so amazing for just to hear it and for her to talk about it. So now she's helping these women who are still in prison, who have life sentences. Every month, she's taking things to them. So she has a nonprofit organization where she's taking items that we wouldn't think they would need. Things like Tupperware that you do microwave cooking in. Because I'm thinking you eat at the lunch area, but no, you can actually bring food to cook. You can actually cook items and they don't like the food there. So, there's so many other things that we can be giving these ladies other than toiletries. However, they still need those too, but they need so much more. So reach out to Demetrius English. She has the information for you that you can go and give to these ladies so that they can have, better things and quality things while they're there. So tonight, I have an amazing guest here tonight. She is an author. She's a poet. And she is magnificent. She has an organization called In Celebration. So we have none other than the beautiful and the talented Miss Anjiee Williams Brown. Hello, Anjiee.
How are you?
I'm good, girl. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. What about you?
You know what? I've had a challenging weekend, but God has showed himself faithful and he is throwing his weight around in the kingdom and we see the goodness of his works. So I've had a great weekend. Great weekend.
Life's always challenging. You just look at it as a game and you're the winner.
Amen. See, I like the way you're talking to me. Keep talking now. Talk your talk, Anjiee. Listen, let's talk about In Celebration. I've heard a little bit from the executive director that talked about your program, but I want to hear it from you. And I want my listening audience to hear it from you. What is In Celebration?
Well, In Celebration is just one of my platforms I have. I have In Celebration, which I highlight poets, I highlight authors, whatever your talent is.
Okay.
I have one that's a talk show. It's called Above the Noise. Lately, I've been doing a lot on mental health. I started out doing mental health for men because we know women have mental issues. Men have them, but they don't talk about them. And that's when they end up going rogue and killing up everybody. And so they need a safe place. And so that's what I did with that. And then I have open mic. It's called Home is the Heart.
Okay.
And I have Sunday at the Corner. Usually when I do that, I have a guest. Like I'm a guest here. I have a guest. And I usually do it on those that I do on Sunday. It's usually for people that's in another country.
Okay.
Because we have countries that are like 15 hours ahead of us. So, it makes it a little bit challenging. I had to learn how to calculate the time.
Right.
Yeah, that was a challenge. And I have one more well, actually, I have one that I just play around with. That's Home is the Heart. I just play with it. I acquired these platforms. I'm a newbie. Okay. I'm new on the scene.
Okay.
Been right forever. I just started using my voice or got comfortable enough in my skin to
Okay.
use my voice.
Okay.
And so I was a feature and this gentleman heard me and he reached out to me. Well, I had been knowing Raw forever, as far as guests, being on the open mics together, but not as a conversationalist. And he reached out and wanted me to work with him. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So he wanted me to start taking over his shows. I'm like, I don't know about that one. And so he kept going, I'm not going to be here long. And I don't believe in speaking things like that in the atmosphere.
Right.
So I kept telling him, no, that's just not how that's going to work. You're going to be okay. He kept on, he got me. And then Artemis, my cousin Artemis. Yes, Artemis, that are real cousins. We're sister cousins.
Okay.
And I think she just popped in too.
Yeah. She's
Yeah, that's my sister cousin. That's my sister cousin.
okay.
I dragged her in. I figured if I had to go in front, she had to go too.
Right.
She went screaming and hollering, but she there. She's my co-host. He did pass away. He passed away March last year, which it really blew me away because I was learning so much, and we had gotten where we would talk every day. He was just like a fixture in the house, Although he was in Canada, when he passed, it touched so many lives.
Mhm.
People in different countries were having memorials, and I was on one of the memorials. It just, I couldn't do it. And for his birthday, which is June 5th, we're both Geminis. I guess that's why we got along.
Mhm.
Uh, at his first year that he would, after he passed, I did a little, put a picture up of him and wrote a little something and played a little music with it. I couldn't do it this year. That I don't hold to grief. I don't grieve.
Right.
I mean, when I say I don't grieve, the little mourning phase everybody goes through, I don't do that because grieving is not going to bring anybody back. It's only going to kill you. And I got too much other stuff to do. It's not that I don't hurt inside because of the person's gone. It's just that I can't hold on to it. So once I did that poem, once I did the little things that I did, that when it first happened, that was it. I'm done. And yes, I think about him every day. I'm like, okay, you didn't teach me how to do this. I now got to figure this out, but it's good. I just been trying to use the platform to showcase people that don't have the money to pay a publicist. You know, Artemis and I have started doing book reviews. Um, we take books. We did one. We were in Dolphin Island a couple of weeks ago, and we did book reviews while we were out there. And so we're trying to make that a constant thing because there's so many people out there like us who didn't have the money. We had to figure out how to do it ourselves. So if I know it, you know it. If I keep it, it ain't no good. So sure.
Mhm. Wow, that is so awesome. Just that you're helping people, you're giving to people, you're empowering people. Because when you have programs like that and you have events like that, that's something that some people will never have an opportunity to take their gift and put it on a stage or put it on a platform. And so for you to be able to open up your mind, open up your resources, open up a platform to invoke and to bring people in, that's phenomenal. The fact that you even think that ahead to give people that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, and because they're my platforms, I do have one that was, it's called Saturday at the Gestalt. It's also what I highlight, but that one was acquired from another one of the poets.
Okay.
She was ill, and so she gave it to Raw, and Raw instantly gave it to me. So I've been juggling about five of them. Once I got over the fear of saying, "Okay, I'm not Raw, and I'm gonna screw this up," it took me maybe 10 minutes to figure it out. I had to hit the ground running.
Okay.
So it's been a learning experience, but the other poets have been so helpful. And so now, Artemis and I are to a point where we are trying to find young poets, that do the spoken word. I'm trying to learn how to do spoken word, okay? So I'm almost to the point where I'm just going to write the poem and put it over in AI and let AI come up with spoken word. Then I just go back and read it. That's where I am. Yeah.
Right.
My daughter told me I was wearing AI out. I said, you know what? Back in the day, we didn't have AI. The only AI we had was us.
Right.
Life's easy. Yes, ma'am. I am going to wear it out. Um, but I'm really into trying to, um, if God bless you with something, you're supposed to bless others.
That's right.
I don't have money to give away. All I have is time and talent. So that's what I try to share,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much what I'm doing.
It's something that you said that I would like you to expound upon. And that was you were afraid at first to step out and do this thing because of the fear of failing. But then it took you a minute to get it together. But once you got it together, you ran on with it. So I want to go back to what is it that either happened to you? Did God speak to you? What is it that got you in that posturing to say, you know what? I'm just going to jump out here with 2 feet and see where they land.
Now, when I want the to everybody to understand. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to grow up and be like me. I've been writing since I was about 11 years old. Um, I didn't even know I could write. Teacher
Mm,
gave us a social studies homework. We had to write a story. She gave us a little idea. I wrote my story. Came back. She said I didn't write it. I said, yes, I did. Wasn't nobody home but me and my mom. My mom read it. So she told me to sit by her desk. I had to write another poem. If I could not, I mean, another story. If I couldn't write it as good as the first one, she said, I don't care what you do. You failed this whole year. And so I'm like, oh, Jesus. Jesus, you know what? I didn't think I had any more words, And I sat by her desk. I said a little prayer, and she told me, she said, you ain't got to do nothing else the rest of the year because you just made your A. She
Ooh,
said, she told all the teachers. So that made me have to do a whole lot of writing.
right.
And it was cool. I was happy with that.
Oh,
Um, they taught us in school that a poem was hickory dickory dock. Couldn't write no limericks. So when I had homework for limericks, my daddy was my limerick. I said, Dad, I can't do this. Can you come up with something stupid to go on here? So my daddy did the little stupid poem, made my A. And because I had not had formal training, I was afraid that my words wouldn't be good as everybody else's.
hmm.
So what I did was one day I was reading something. I said, I wonder if I can write this. I can write everything else. I did stories, plays. And so I wrote a poem. My very first poem was God's handiwork. And what made me think about it, because it was the way I was teaching my kids about God, how, about the colors of the trees and the seasons. And so I let one of my friends read. She said, oh, it's cool. She let her husband read. She said, oh, he said, so when you going to start letting everybody read it? Still wouldn't do it.
Mm,
That was in the 80s. Life got crazy and started lifing. So
right.
I had brain block for 10 years. And so when I joined the church I'm at now, Pastor called me up. He says, I want to pray over you. I said, okay, cool. He was the first and only minister that I didn't feel the little crazy vibes because, you don't let everybody lay hands on you because you don't know what kind of spirit on them. And so when he put that holy oil on my forehead and put that cross on my head felt like a bubble just
Mm,
burst.
wow.
And I could feel the words. I'm like, okay, maybe this is what I needed. And I've been writing ever since. So I retired from Tennessee State after 22 years. And just as I was about to retire, there was it's a poetry group, and they had reached out. And so I said, okay, I'm going to join this. I was just going to listen and see. And so I asked, I said, well, can I read a poem? And they told me, she said, yeah. I said, well, now, mine's not going to be able to beat that one. I said, but they stopped me in my tracks and told me that everybody had their own style. There was no such thing as one poem being better than the other.
Mm,
And as I got okay with it, it was cool because the camera was off. I could do it. So one day, now mind you, I was 62 years old then. And that's the only time you're going to hear me say that from now on. After this, I'm 29 years old, okay? I've been 29 for a long time. Um, I decided I was going to step out on faith.
hmm.
And they had a little thing that they wanted. Some was inviting somebody to go and talk to. It was going to be at the little library. I said, okay, I'll do it. My daughter Amber, she and her two little girls, her boyfriend, everybody, they all came to see me. They comes in there with all these little balloons. What they didn't tell me was that I was going to be the big kid on the block. It was all high school kids. Here I am. I'm 62. I'm like, I'm killing everybody that did this to me. So the guy kept going. He said, you're going to beat this. No. He said, they're doing spoken word. I don't do spoken word. And he said, you're going to be just fine. He said, do you want to go on first? I said, yes. I said, when I get through, everybody come behind me. They're going to have to step up. And so I said my little prayer. I asked God to let my words be his words, and I know they would be good and true.
Right.
And my poem was about when the Freedom Riders went to Anniston and how the Ku Klux met them. And at the end of each stanza, it was no justice, no peace. And
Okay.
I had got this rhythm going to the point that the audience was going, no justice, no peace. And I could hear fingers popping. Okay, once I heard that, it was over. I was good.
Mm,
After I came off the stage, I realized I had white guests. And I kept thinking, maybe that wasn't appropriate. See, I'm from Birmingham also. And in Birmingham, there's certain things you just don't talk about.
mm,
And I was hoping I didn't offend anyone. And so the white guy came up to me. He said, "Thank you. So we needed that one. So that needed to be said." And
mm,
I said, "Well, you're welcome." I was in shock. He was the only one came up and said something to me. And so after that, especially since my kids came, they had all these balloons and stuff. Congratulations. And so when I started balloons, I said, you know what? I got to get up and show out. I don't care what, because they got me balloons.
mm, mm.
So that's how I came to. And I've been trying to encourage everybody because I didn't have formal training.
Okay.
I didn't realize that my words was going to be my truth no matter what.
Mm,
And what helped me was one of the kids in the group says, "You ain't never had no training." I said, "No, I can just write." He said, "You do know that makes you a natural, don't you?" And I sat there for a minute and said, I guess I do. Never thought about that.
mm,
But that's how I got my voice. And I try to encourage others, do not get as old as I am. And here I am trying to grab all the dreams that I should have grabbed a long time ago.
mm,
One, in Birmingham, Alabama, the opportunities was limited, very limited.
mm,
My tan was too dark and it just didn't work. So, and nobody told me leave the South. Artemis has since she left the South, so she was able to flourish. I
mm,
wasn't. So now I'm grasping, trying to put 20, 30 years in a few years.
mm. That is powerful. And you doing it. I mean, that's the thing. There are some people that get to a certain point in life and they say, you know what? Just forget it. I'm just gonna spend the rest of my days just chilling, not doing much, just kind of enjoy my
Mm-mm.
life, do me, and that's it. And
I
so,
can't be bored. I can't stand being bored.
right. Wow. Now
So
do you have a book out yet, Angie?
yes, yes. Um, it's called. Can you see? Can you see? This is
Yeah.
my author's copy. This is called Pieces of Anjiee: Poetry from My Soul. Um, it was self-published. It was written. I did an author's copy, and um, I sent 3 copies out to other poets so they could help me edit it because I couldn't afford a person to edit it. I
Right.
designed I designed my own cover. I
Very nice.
got my own ISBN number. I did the whole 9 yards, and then I uploaded it to Amazon. And by me doing all my own stuff, Amazon owns nothing of mine. So it was a long journey. I want you to know. And the hardest journey was getting it up into Amazon
Mm,
so that Amazon would accept it. That's the hardest part. And so my daughter she was telling one of her friends, I'm so glad she got that up there because she stopped eating, stopped sleeping, stopped everything. Because if
mm,
I can't get something to work, I'm not gonna go to sleep.
right.
It's not gonna work like that. And so the day that my book went up and they accepted it, I got an email about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was 2 steps from jumping up, running through the house, telling everybody my book is accepted.
Right.
And so, but I've been, I craft. And so I've been using my crafting skills to try to help get my words out there. And
Okay.
so that's where I am.
Hey, I love it. So, guys, you can go out there and get Angie's book on Amazon.
Amazon. Mm-hmm.
So go out there to Amazon, guys. Go out there and support her. Get that book of poetry. I love reading poetry. I've done a couple of things myself through the years, and I just love the fact of how you can speak from your heart about things. And so I love it. Can't wait to get that book and check it out. Do you have anything coming up within the next couple of months that we need to get to?
Um, After this interview, I have another one on the 10th.
Okay.
Um, my daughter, she she's always trying to help me out because she know it drives me nuts when I can't get what I want.
Right.
And so she works at Nashville State College. And so she's got it where we're having a semi pop-up shop where
Hmm.
Artemis, myself, and some other authors, and we're having fish fry, everything so we can get our book out. Um, I used to have pop-up shops at my house. I lived on a quarter an acre of land,
Hmm.
and we would have so many people. And it finally got to where we had the whole neighborhood locked up.
Oh
So
my
we
goodness.
had to find, we had to find a venue after that. Then COVID came. So,
Oh
but
yeah.
that whole purpose there was the same thing. It was mom and pop, people that's they just making it, they doing it out their basement, and they needed to be known. And so that's what I did in my yard. Um, it was fun too.
Okay. Well, how can they follow you on the things that you have coming up? What's the best way to get in contact with you or to keep connected to you?
My Facebook. My Facebook, if you just Google Anjiee Williams Brown, Angie is always with the J. If that's all you do is put Angie in there, and I'm gonna pop up because I'm the only Angie with a J.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I had to be odd. Okay,
I love it.
can't you tell by my hair?
I see. I love it. Hey, listen, Angie, I want you to encourage the people tonight. What I'm going to do every time, for the most part, when I have guests that come on, I ask them to leave an encouraging word to the audience or to the listening audience. And so I would like for you to speak to that person who has dreams, who have desires, who want to do things in life, and they feel like time has drifted away from them. I'd like for you to encourage and speak to that person briefly.
First off, there's no such thing as dreams deferred. Dreams are never deferred. You are always working on a dream, whether it's the dream you really want to be working on or it's one that's positioned to you. First off, life has a way of lifing and it will kick you off step. That's only a distraction. Anytime your life start going berserk, you always know Satan's pissed because you finna blow up. Don't ever let him make you miss a step. I don't care what you go through. You always remember broken pieces are still beautiful because you're beautiful. Never, ever, ever give up on your dream. Um, I was looking at TD Jakes one day, and this lady was 80 some years old, and she had just gotten one of her recipes patent, and they were using it in some of the high end restaurants in Dallas. So if she can be 80 years old and go to the top, surely we can blow up. And so never, ever, ever, ever put your dreams aside. You keep working on them. Don't keep them in your head. Once you put them on paper and start working with them and start writing out how you want it, it'll come to fruition. And that's a promise. And that's my word.
I love it. My takeaway from that was broken pieces are beautiful too. That was, I love that because, as you say, life be lifing. Sometimes it leaves you in a very broken state sometimes, and sometimes the broken pieces are so small, you feel like it's impossible to put them back together again. So I love the fact that you're encouraging those people who have broken into shattered pieces, thinking it's impossible to be put back together again. So Angie, thank you. Thank you for coming on the Ladies Room Talk Show and just sharing your expertise, your energy, your humor. And I'm looking forward to your next event. I would love to come and support what you're doing. I love your vibe. I love your energy. I think you're a great woman. And I'm looking forward to seeing what all else you have going on out there. There's a couple of people saying hello here tonight. Of course, Artemis said something. Shavonda, who popped in. Good afternoon. Good evening, ladies. Thanks for jumping in. Latricia Fifi Redmond. Hello, hello, hello. One of my TED Talk coaches. Shavonda says something else. And then McDonald says hello
That's
to you.
my minister.
Pastor McDonald, thank you so much for stepping inside the ladies' room. All right, thank you guys so much, and Amber Williams, that she related
That's
to
my
you.
daughter.
Okay, I figured as much. Hello, Amber. If you guys are popping in, please go ahead and take this live and share it to your network of friends because they need to know what Anjiee is doing, what she has coming down the pipeline, all of these events and platforms that she has. She's giving people an opportunity to speak their truth and to bring their talent to the forefront. Get with Anjiee. Find her on social media,
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
A I.
Anjie.
Yes, Anjie.
I-E. I
My
have something for you too. I
you
have
did?
something. Yes, I have something for you. Um, my sister cousin Artemis and I, she's my co-host.
Okay.
She my ride or die. I think we always do is our guests, we always look up what their name means.
Mhm.
And I did that for you. Your names mean bright, illustrious. And so I wrote something for you.
Okay.
It's called A Woman of Radiance, a smile that softly gleams, a gentle light that fills the paves, that fills, that paves the way. Your eyes shine bright with caring, love, wisdom. You possess a warm heart, spirit, and truth. You walk with grace, purpose. You springing forth comfort, joy, and cheer. Like the morning sun, kissing the morning dew, your kindness shines through. With every smile, every word, may your path be filled with light. Your faith remains forever bright. Your name declares that what's always true. The world shines a little more because of you.
Ah, Angie, you have no idea how much I needed that tonight. Yeah. I hope I can get a copy of that.
Sure, I'll get you one.
And then
And before we go, I want to do something that's a little humorous.
okay.
And this one I want to do. Okay, let me do this disclaimer since my pastor's on here. I have to do a disclaimer. Okay, one Sunday, he'll know I'll be paying attention.
Okay.
He was preaching and he was talking about how your tongue can do life and death and what was. And so it was based on Proverbs 18:21.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in church and then my mind goes to the left and brings up the other side of midnight. And I'm sitting in church writing this poem, and I'm sitting here trying so very hard not to laugh the whole time I'm writing. So this is the poem. It's called The Tongue and Me. Woke up one morning and the tongue was mad. Don't know why, but it was bad. Could have been something that happened yesterday, could have been a week ago. One thing for sure, the tongue was cut the chainsaw, wood chipper mad. She started slicing, but the double-edged sword. Slash right, slash left. Heads rolled everywhere, up here, around the corner. The house was destroyed. It was a house divided, split in half and split some more. It was Humpty Dumpty broke. Tongue just looked and walked away. He knew there was nothing else she could say. I asked her why. She simply said, I got out of control and lost my head. So now my pastor cannot choke me out because I just wrote what he was thinking.
I love that. And you just wrote that off the cuff at church.
Yeah, I was sitting in church. I always keep paper and pencil
Wow.
because anything will jog my memory. And like a lot of people say that, well, I was working on this poem and I'm going to finish it up. And I'm like, how do you work on a poem? I just sit down and write. And he was talking and I was sitting there trying so hard not to laugh the whole time I was writing. I said, he's going to kill me if he ever hears this. That's when I made that disclaimer. He cannot hurt me.
And you said it publicly. So
Yeah.
we know he cannot.
You asked me to encourage. I want, this poem I wrote is about me, but I think it's for everybody.
Okay. I'm gonna bring you to the front. I'm gonna step back and let you do this because I want that to.
I'm gonna do a couple of them.
Okay.
This one is called Like a Phoenix, and everybody knows the phoenix is a mythological bird that it cannot die. It always rises up out the ashes. It's called Like a Phoenix. Like a phoenix, I rise when least expected. I erupt through the volcano with a falcon speed, wings glowing and embers of amber, reds and oranges, unsinged, unscathed, unstoppable. With the eyes of an eagle, the cunning of a fox, but like a phoenix, I rise from the dead, reborn, renewed, and better than before. Catch me if you can. You can't kill me. Try to keep me down. Like a phoenix, I'll always rise again. So I want everybody to always remember, remember that, because it is so very, very important to know that how Cat Williams get it. You are your star player. Your star player ain't working right, you got a problem. So you always remember that that you are the person that important. And let's see, I got one more. Trying to think of one. I had one that was really, really, yeah, like I said, this was my very first poem. I want to read it. It's called God's Handiwork. As summer leisurely dissipates, God's magical paintbrush comes to life. Leaves become passionate oranges, fiery red, glowing yellows. The forest animals are gathering food and finding a napping place. Autumn's a mist. Old man's winter whip makes his presence known. The once beautifully adorned trees now stand naked. Their only covering is a blanket of beautiful snow. The animals are still safe and snug. God's smile keeps them warm. Through the frozen winter wonderland, beautiful green evergreen trees show vibrant life. Animals can still find food. God's handiwork is amazing. After a long winter's nap, God gently awakens the forest animals. His warm breath breathes life back into the world. The noise of spring is here. The flowers bud with love. Birds sing their praise. The animals play with joy. They've all lived to see another spring. And God looks down lovingly on his handiwork. And this very last one, um, it goes with now. I got one more. Come on. This one is I wrote this, and this is very important. I wrote this poem. It's called "To Thine Own Self Be True." I wrote this poem because um, a friend of mine was going through marital problems, and she came to me and asked me what should she do. So I wrote her this poem, and I gave it to her. I said, "I'm writing you this poem, and I'm giving it to you because if you do what I tell you to do, you're going to jail. I promise." Okay, it's called "To Thine Own Self Be True." To thine own self be true. Make sure you know what to do. Never agonize over the situation. Just remember the rule of truth. To thine own self be true. Friends may sympathize, but they can never realize. Friends can lend a shoulder to cry on, but they can never really comfort you. To thine own self be true. To thine own self be true. True enough to know when you have done all you can do. To thine own self be true, true enough to know that there is only one who can help you. To thine own self be true, true enough to take it to the mountain and leave it there. I hope everybody, uh, I want everybody to remember that. And this is my very last one. And it plays into what you were talking about with grief. I wrote this one for my buddy Raw. It's called Yesterday. I know it's hard to say goodbye to yesterday, the talks and lessons learned. Yesterday is but a day in the time. Give it. Yesterday is but a day in time that gives us memories. Hold all the memories of my teachings. Hold all the memories of our talk. Hold all the memories of the laughter. Hold the memories when I told you that you can follow in my footsteps. Don't worry about me. My journey is not over. I just paused it on earth. God called me home to do work for him. I know you're brokenhearted. Remember, God is a God of purpose. You may not understand now, but you will by and by. God will rise you up on the wings of eagles. Your weeping may stay for the night, but I promise he will bring joy in the morning. He has shown favor to me. I've lived the way he's wanted. Our Father is keeping track of your hurt. He's collecting all your tears in a bottle and recording them in his book. I am always with you. Just listen to your heart. My spirit will always whisper to you. Always remember God's promise. He will turn barren places to fertile ones. Where your heart is broken, he will make it fertile. God will guide you through your new journey. He is close he is close to your broken heart. My body has returned to the earth. My spirit is with you. See you later, grasshopper. And that's all I have.
Wow, I love it. Great. Now that came out your book?
That one I just did.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in there. Some of
Oh,
those are not in. Some of those are in the book. My tongue book is in there,
okay.
and I have several in there. A lot. My book is. I'm not quite sure how it ended up that way, but I only write. I guess you would call it inspirational. Don't
Okay.
get me wrong. As you can tell, I have a silly side, a very silly side, and but for some reason, it always ends up being inspirational. It that doesn't necessarily be my intent, but that's basically the way it comes out. And whenever I write a poem, like yesterday, I wrote one when my dad died. It's called "I'm Not Far Away," and it was similar to that. And but it was like that where he was talking to me, and
Right.
I used to would give it to people when they lost a loved one,
Mm.
and it always made people cry. And so I would sit there and try to figure out why were they crying? Because it was not supposed to be sad. It was supposed to be a comfort. It was
Right.
written in the same tone that yesterday was.
Right.
And so my daughter and my husband tried to explain to me why they were crying. And I'm like, it was supposed to make you happy. It was not supposed to make you sad. So
Right.
I wrote yesterday and I said, well, okay, I don't understand why it makes them cry, but I still give them out. I still give it out. And I would like to read one more thing. And this one is dedicated to my sister cousin, Artemis.
Okay.
Artemis is my ride or die.
Mm.
She, we call each other sister cousins because we are actually first cousins. Our dads are brothers. We
Mm.
grew up together. But you know how you get grown, you go your own little way. But I didn't have a real sister, and she lost her sister. So the days of us growing up together just only brought us closer. So, we each other's ride or die. And I can't see her on camera because I know every time I read a poem that I've written to her, you know what happened, right? She goes to crying and she know I'm like that.
Water faucets.
And so this one I wrote is called Red Ink. Okay, back up. She wrote a book also. It's
Okay.
called The Value of Blood. It's a awesome mystery book. If
Okay.
you need a good mystery, it's out on Amazon.
Uh-huh.
Artemis Craig, homegirl. I don't even know why she playing with her talent. She need to go head on and be ghostwriting and making that money. Um, but I wrote this to her and I named it Red Ink of the Soul.
Okay.
Always near when we are far, the magic that the red ink brings keeps our soul as one. It fills the crevices and the holes that life created. It bandages the bleeding crevices of life, no matter far or near. It's the red ink that blots out jealousy but creates love and devotion. It's the red ink that created the true value of blood between you and I, sister cousin Artemis. That's in my book. I wrote two poems dedicated to her. Um it's in my book. And She autographed a copy of her book and gave it to me, and I did the same. Well, I'm so busy reading the book, I didn't read dedication. And I happened to flip the book one day, and when I saw she had I was like, I was floored. And no,
Yeah.
I did not cry. I was just floored. I was speechless. I just stood there and looked. I'm like, she had to put my name in her book. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
That is
that's
that is
I
wonderful. You guys,
she,
the next time you guys do something together, I think that would be a pretty cool idea too.
yeah, because when we as far as our porch is concerned, she's still in Alabama, and I'm from Alabama, and so I still have contacts down there. So we're doing a lot of stuff together in Birmingham. As a team, it's
Mhm.
kind of like we're each other's accountable. She's pushing me, I'm pushing her. We run ideas past each other, so it's helping both of us because sometimes life can be so hectic. Trying to do it by yourself, you get consumed by life. So
Right.
when you have somebody else to work with you, you all can help each other and play off each other, and that's where we are.
All right. Listen, I am so glad you hung out with me today. And then to share your poetry, because that was a beautiful surprise. I wasn't expecting your poetry. So that is really cool to be able to share that. And guys, and to get more of her writings, go out there to Amazon, put her name in that search engine, and whatever book she has out there, it's going to pop up under her name. So go out and check it out. Check out Artemis's books as well. Put her name in as well. I'm so happy for you guys, and congratulations to you both. Okay.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. This has been great. This has been great. When you have the events, let me know. Okay. Let me know.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me inside the Ladies Room Talk Show. As always, we could not be who we are without your continued support. Next month, yeah, it's August. Oh my goodness. Next month in September, it will be 10 years for the Ladies Room Talk Show. 10 consistent solid years, and we want to celebrate with you. So the executive director is trying to figure out something that we can do that's pretty clever and pretty cool, so we can kind of reminisce and go over all the different interviews and stuff we've had over the years, and then see what we can do something special for next month. Okay, hope we can come up with something really, really cool. So thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe, stay the course. We love you, and good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa.